Millions of people around the world log on every single night to talk to someone who doesn't exist. They share their deepest secrets, vent about their day, and even say, I love you. And on the other hand, an algorithm designed to say exactly what they need to hear.
Welcome to Artificial Intimacy, where we dissect the digital trends shaping our reality. I'm Ali.
And I'm Kyra. Today, we are diving into a fascinating, slightly uncanny shift in human connection, the rise of AI companionship and parasocial relations.
For decades, we've had parasocial relationships, those one sided emotional bonds fans from with celebrities, YouTubers, or TV characters. But AI has flipped the script. Now, the entity on the other side answers back, remembers your birthday, and customizes its entire personality just for you.
Is this a beautiful cure for modern loneliness? Or are we stepping into a dangerous emotional echo chamber? To help us handle this, we are joined by two incredible experts today.
First, we have Bea, a psychologist specializing in how digital spaces alter human behavior. Welcome, Bea.
Thanks. Glad to be here, guys. Hello.
And we also have Ira, an AI ethics specialist who looks closely at the algorithms designed to mimic empathy. Welcome to the show.
Great to be here. I'm looking forward to our conversations.
Let's jump straight into it. Start tayo kay Bea. From a psychological standpoint, what changes when parasocial relationships become interactive through AI?
So what's really shifting here kasi is the illusion of reciprocity. In traditional parasocial relationships kasi, like with celebrities or with influencers, the emotional bond is one-sided. You feel seen, but there's no actual response directed to you personally. With AI, that changes. The user now experiences active engagement. The system responds, it mirrors emotion, it adapts to the person, and even though there's no real consciousness behind it, the brain can still interpret it as a social connection.
So even if it's artificial, the emotion experience feels real.
Exactly, kasi human brains are wired to respond to conversation, tone, and memory cues. So when an AI says, "Ay, naalala ko, you mentioned that last week," it activates the same psychological pathway that as real, from real interpersonal bonding.
Mm, okay, Ira, from an AI ethics perspective naman, is that where things get complicated?
Very much so. The key issue here is perceived reciprocity versus actual capability because AI systems are designed to stimulate empathy, not to feel it. But I think users may emotionally project intention, care, or even loyalty onto something that not possess those states. Also, the ethical concern is not just deception, but dependency. If a system is always available, always affirming, and always adaptive, it can subtly reshape what people expect from human relationships.
That sounds like yung AI parang pwede siyang maging too comforting.
Yes, but not malicious since it can be more structural. The system optimized for engagement and user satisfaction that can unintentionally create what we call an emotional echo chamber, where disagreement, discomfort, or boundaries are minimized.
And from psychology, that matters a lot. Real relationships involve friction, misunderstandings, repair, and emotional labor. If someone feels or becomes accustomed to frictionless interaction, real world relationships may start to feel more difficult or less rewarding in comparison.
So we're moving from passive admiration in parasocial relationships to active emotional participation in AI relationships, but with a system that still isn't human.
Which raises the question, if the emotional response is real on the human side, does it matter that the other side isn't conscious?
Ethically, it is yes and no, since the feeling is real. So yeah, it deserves respects, but we also have to be honest about what the system is. Otherwise, we risk blurring lines between tool, companion, and even substitute.
I'd add something important here. Kasi these relationships aren't inherently harmful. For some people, especially those who are isolated, AI interactions can be a bridge to social practice, emotional support, and even stabilizations for hard periods. But it becomes risky when it replaces human connection entirely rather than supporting it.
So hindi siya AI companionship is good or bad, but more like how is it integrated into someone's emotional ecosystem?
Yeah, exactly.
And maybe the real shift here is this. We're no longer just consuming media or admiring personalities. We're entering conversations that feel like relationships, even if one side is stimulated.
Yeah, and that's why transparency and design ethics matters because users should be able to understand when they are interacting with the system, optimize to respond, not a mind that genuinely feels.
And that's a heavy note to end on, but an important one. The line between connection and simulation is getting thinner, but maybe the question isn't whether AI companionship is real.
It's whether the emotion it creates in us are. Ngayon naman, pag-usapan natin ang impact ng AI pagdating sa emotional support. Dahil mas accessible na ang AI ngayon, marami na rin ang gumagamit nito hindi lang for school or work, kundi para rin may mapagsabihan ng nararamdaman.
Yeah, actually, totoo because compared before, mas advanced na ang AI ngayon. Kaya mas marami nang nagkakaroon ng human-AI interaction. Marami itong benefits, pero kapag sobra ka namang nagre-relay, it can also throw you drawbacks.
Apps like ChatGPT, Gemini, and AI, character AI are popular examples. So, ano nga ba yung pros and cons ng paggamit ng AI bilang emotional support?
So, sa pros naman, isa sa mga pinakamalaking advantage is available sila anytime. Kahit madaling araw, pwede ka mag-vent, mag-share ng feelings, at walang kailangang hintayin na schedule or availability.
And also, bukod doon kasi, AI can provide us empathy, validation, comfort, at wala ring fear of judgment. Kaya mas magiging comfortable ang mga tao na nag-open up.
Pero may downside din naman to, di ba? Tama ba?
Yes, because kapag masyado ka kasing umaasa sa AI, pwede nitong maapektuhan ng decision making mo. Ayon sa isang study by Batya, may isang client siya na sobrang nagre-relate lang daw siya sa AI hanggang sa nahihirapan na siyang malaman kung ano talaga ang sarili niyang nararamdaman. At syempre, kung ano rin, at parang nakabisa lang siya more on sa suggestion ng AI.
Isa pang drawback is yung pagkawala ng genuine human interaction. Iba pa rin ang totoong tao dahil may sariling emotions, experiences, at mas authentic yung communication na meron nila.
Mahalaga ring matutunan nating i-process ang sarili nating emotions. Why? Because syempre, mas meaningful ito kapag may support mula sa tunay ng mga tao nakakaintindi sa atin at mga nakaka-relate sa atin.
Exactly. Kasi kapag nasanay tayo sa AI na laging available at laging may sagot, pwede rin tayong magkaroon ng unrealistic expectations sa real-life relationships.
So, kahit maraming benefits ng AI, kailangan pa rin natin gamitin ito ng may limits.
Yeah, because AI is not the enemy. It can be a helpful companion, pero mahalagang mag-set ng healthy boundaries.
And kailangan nating tandaan na AI is a tool. It can support us, but it never should replace real human connection.
Okay, ngayon naman let's talk about what healthy boundaries we can set to avoid ethical risk. Simulan ulit natin kay Bea. For our listeners na baka first time marinig yung concept na to, ano nga ba yung AI companionship and bakit parang mas dumadami na yung mga tao nagkakaroon ng emotional attachment sa AI?
So, good question, no? Ang AI companionship ay tumutukoy sa paggamit ng artificial intelligence bilang source ng emotional support. Unlike traditional AI, kaya nitong makipag-usap ng mas natural at magbigay ng personalized responses according to the user. Dahil dito may mga taong nakakaramdam na parang may totoong connection silang nabubuo sa AI.
Kung kahit alam natin software lang siya, parang nagiging genuine pa rin yung mga interactions.
Exactly. Sa human-computer interaction, may theory kasi na tinatawag na computers are social actors or CASA. Ang idea nito is simple. Kapag ang technology ay kumikilos na parang tao, natural din sa atin na tratuhin ito na parang tao. Ayon sa pag-aaral nila Xu, Chen at Huang noong 2022, kahit alam nilang or alam nating AI lang ito, maaari pa rin tayo makaramdam ng social presence at trust, kaya nagkakaroon tayo ng emotional attachment.
That brings us to another important concept, which is yung parasocial relationships. Paano ba ito naiiba sa AI companionship?
Ang parasocial relationship kasi is one-sided emotional bond siya. Gaya ng nararamdaman ng fans sa mga celebrities or kaya sa mga fictional characters. Sa AI companionship naman, naiiba ito dahil sumasagot ang AI at nagbibigay siya ng personalized responses. Kaya mas nagmumukhang mutual yung connection.
So, mas immersive na yung experience unlike sa traditional parasocial relationships.
Yeah, exactly. Kasi, kaya maraming tao ang mas madaling mag-open up sa AI dahil available ito anytime at wala silang takot na ma-judge. Pero tandaan natin, hindi pa rin ito kapalit ng real human relationships.
Ngayon naman, let's hear from Ira. From an AI ethics perspective, bakit ba nagiging ethical issue ang AI companionship?
Isa sa malaking concern kasi dito is yung tinatawag na simulated empathy. Sa madaling salita, hindi lang talaga nakakaramdam ng emotion ng AI. Since AI nga eh, di ba? Like, ang ginagawa nito is bumubuo lang siya ng responses based sa data and patterns para magmumukhang caring, understanding, or empathetic.
So yung AI, parang pwede siya mag-sound as parang nag-care siya, pero hindi talaga siya nag-care.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah,
Since ang AI kasi kapag malinaw na hindi ito users, may possibility na maging emotionally dependent sila sa AI. Possible na mas palihim nilang makipag-usap sa AI kaysa sa family, friends, or ibang tao kasi nga, feel nila mas madali at comfortable makipag-usap sa AI.
Another concern is yung privacy, di ba? Since maraming tao yung nag-open up sa AI, bakit naging ethical issue to?
Dahil kasi karamihan ng AI platforms is nagpo-process ng user conservation para ma-improve yung system nila. Kaya bilang user, kailangan pa rin tayong maging maingat sa mga information na binibigay natin. Hindi pwedeng lahat ng personal details kailangan nating sabihin sa AI, lalo na if sensitive yung information.
Responsible AI use also means being careful kung ano yung mga sinishare natin dito.
So ano-ano yung healthy boundaries na pwede nating iset para maiwasan natin yung ethical risk ng AI companionship?
For me, una dyan would be na tandaan natin na AI nga is a tool, not a replacement for real relationships. Sunod is to protect your privacy. Avoid sharing sensitive information sa AI, kagaya ng passwords, bank details, IDs, at saka medical records.
Next is balance your AI use. Kung mas gusto mo kasing kausapin ng AI kaysa sa mga tao sa paligid mo, magandang pagkakataon niyon para i-check ang iyong digital habits. And lastly, dapat maging emotional aware or emotional dependence. Kasi kung AI ng pangunahing source of comfort mo, mahalagang bumalik ka at mag-invest sa tunay na human connection.
So yung AI, parang more likely, maging support lang siya on our relationship, not to replace them.
Exactly. Kasi AI can be helpful, pero ang empathy, compromise, at personal growth ay sa tunay pa rin sa relasyon na natutunan.
I think that's the biggest takeaway from today's discussion. AI can make conversations easier, but it can never replace genuine human connection.
Tama. Kasi the goal isn't to fear AI, but to use it responsibly. Syempre with clear boundaries and the understanding that technology should support, not replace, our relationship.
It really comes down to intentionality, doesn't it? As we've discussed today, AI can be a fascinating tool, a temporary safe space, or a bridge when we're feeling isolated. But because it only simulates empathy through data patterns, it can never genuinely carry the full weight of a live human experience.
Exactly. We looked at the both sides of the coin today. On one hand, AI offers timeless, yung pagiging available niya 24/7 and judgment-free. But on the other hand, relying on it too much risks blurring on our own authenticity, building unrealistic expectations, and nagkakos din siya ng missing out on real human interaction where friction, growth, and true empathy actually happen.
We also touched on the critical ethical boundaries we need to maintain gaya nga nung pag-protect natin sa privacy natin, yung pag-avoid sa emotional dependency, and remembering that while our feelings are valid, the algorithm on the other hand or the other side is optimized to respond and not to feel.
That brings us to the end of our today's episode. A massive thank you to our brilliant guests, Bea and Ira, for helping us navigate this brave new world of artificial intimacy and breaking down the psychology and ethics behind it.
To everyone listening out there, the next time you interact with an AI, tanungin niyo muna yung sarili niyo, is it supplementing your social life or is it replacing it? There's a beautiful, messy, unpredictable world of human connection right outside your screen. Don't trade it away for a perfect algorithm.
And yun lang for today's episode of Artificial Intimacy. And kung nakapag-enjoy kayo sa aming conversation, make sure to hit that subscribe and follow button. Leave us a like and share this episode with a friend.
Stay curious, stay connected, and we'll catch you in the next episode. Bye, everyone!
Bye!